The electric car was supposed to be the last car you ever had to worry about. No oil changes, no transmission, no exhaust system rusting out underneath you. Just a motor, a battery, and decades of simple, cheap transportation. That was the promise. Here is the reality. You spend $45,000 on a new EV today, drive it for 7 years, and watch the range that sold you on the car, 280 miles on a full charge, quietly bleed down to 190. You take it to the dealer. They confirm the battery has degraded to 68% of original capacity. Then they hand you a quote for a replacement pack. $14,000 to $22,000. The trade-in value of your car at that point is $11,000. You're not looking at a repair. You're looking at a financial trap that was engineered before you signed the purchase agreement. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what manufacturers changed inside these battery packs to make them fail on schedule. The brands with the worst documented records and the one spec you need to check before you sign anything. It did not have to be this way, and there is proof sitting in taxi fleets around the world. The first generation Toyota Prius launched in 1997 with a nickel-metal hydride battery pack managed on a principle that every battery engineer understands and that most modern EV manufacturers have quietly abandoned. The fastest way to kill a lithium battery cell is to repeatedly charge it to 100% and drain it to zero. Toyota built the original Prius system to never do either. The pack charged to roughly 80% and discharged to around 40%. Operating in a narrow window that protected cell chemistry over hundreds of thousands of cycles. Prius taxis in Vancouver and other high-mileage markets routinely hit 200,000 to 300,000 miles on the original battery pack. The engineering philosophy was conservative, unglamorous, and it worked. Then the range wars started. Manufacturers realized that the number printed on the window sticker, 300 miles, 350 miles, 400 miles, was the primary sales weapon in a crowded market. To advertise that number, you have to use every kilowatt hour in the pack. To use every kilowatt hour, you have to push the cells to their chemical limits on every charge cycle. The battery engineers knew what that would do to longevity. The marketing departments won anyway. Here is what that decision cost you specifically. The most documented mass-market battery failure in EV history is not a fire or a recall. It is something quieter and more expensive. It is thermal management negligence, and Nissan put it on the road at scale with the original Leaf. When Nissan launched the Leaf in 2010, they made a cost-cutting decision that engineers and outside analysts flagged immediately. The battery pack had no active liquid cooling system. The cells were air-cooled, which works adequately in mild climates and moderate driving patterns. In Phoenix, in Dallas, in any market where summer temperatures exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit for weeks at a time, it is a death sentence for the pack. Lithium-ion cells begin permanently degrading at sustained temperatures above 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Without liquid cooling to manage that heat, Leaf owners in hot climate states were cooking their batteries every summer. Documented capacity losses of 20 to 30% within 3 to 4 years of ownership. A pack that started at 84 miles of EPA range dropping below 60. Nissan's quoted replacement, cost at the time, $5,500 to $8,000, on a car that had depreciated to $10,000 in those same markets. You bought a $32,000 car. 4 years later, you own a $10,000 car with an $8,000 problem. The second engineering crime is not inside the battery. It is inside the warranty document, and it is more deliberately constructed than anything in the pack itself. Every major EV manufacturer offers a standard 8-year, 100,000-mile battery warranty. That sounds like protection. Read the fine print. The coverage threshold, the point at which the manufacturer is obligated to replace or repair the pack, is set at 70% remaining capacity. A battery that has lost 29% of its original range is, by the terms of your warranty, functioning normally. That threshold was not chosen arbitrarily. Internal degradation data that manufacturers collect from every connected vehicle on the road tells them exactly where the average pack lands at year 6, year 7, year 8. The 70% threshold is calibrated to sit just above where most batteries arrive at the end of the warranty period, ensuring the steepest part of the degradation curve hits after coverage expires. It is not a warranty. It is a map of exactly how much capacity they intend to take from you before your contract with them ends. Let's talk about who is doing this specifically. Nissan is the clearest case. Leaf owners in Arizona, California, and Texas filed a class action lawsuit against Nissan beginning in 2012 over premature capacity loss, arguing the company had misrepresented battery, longevity, and failed to disclose the absence of thermal management as a material defect. Nissan's initial response was to revise the capacity bars on the dashboard gauge, making degradation appear less severe visually without changing the underlying chemistry. They eventually introduced a replacement battery program, but owners were required to demonstrate degradation through a dealer capacity test, and dealers in the early years of the program were inconsistent in performing or acknowledging the test. Owners who did not know the program existed or who could not get their dealer to administer the test received nothing. Chevrolet is the second case, and the dollar figure here is larger than anything Nissan produced. In 2021, GM recalled approximately 140,000 Chevrolet Bolt EVs over a battery fire risk, traced to two simultaneous manufacturing defects in cells produced by LG Energy Solution, a torn anode tab and a folded separator that together created the conditions for thermal runaway. GM initially told owners to park outside and not charge above 90%. Then they revised the guidance to not charge above 80%. Then they stopped selling the Bolt entirely for a period while they negotiated cell replacements with LG. The total cost to GM exceeded $1.8 billion. Owners went more than a year under charging restrictions, with some reporting that the replacement packs installed under the recall had longer lead times than the original repair window promised. The Bolt fire was not a chemistry mystery. It was a supplier quality failure that made it through inspection, through production, and into 140,000 driveways because the manufacturing cost structure left no margin for the redundancy that would have caught it. Before I show you what to actually buy, drop a comment right now with your current EV, your mileage, and what percentage battery capacity your car is reporting. If your manufacturer denied a warranty claim on degradation, I especially want to hear that. I want to build a real-world picture of where these packs actually land, because the number manufacturers publish and the number owners are living with are not the same number. So what do you buy instead? 3 answers. If you are buying new, the data points to the Tesla Model 3 long range. Not because Tesla is without fault, but because their active liquid thermal management system, the same core architecture they have run since the original Roadster, combined with over-the-air battery management updates, produces the best documented long-term retention numbers in the mass market. Recurrent Auto, which tracks real-world battery data from more than 15,000 vehicles, found Tesla batteries retaining an average of 88% capacity at 100,000 miles. No other mass-market manufacturer publishes data that competes with that figure, which is itself telling. If you want a new EV but not a Tesla, look at Toyota's BZ4X or the Lexus RZ. Toyota's battery engineering inherits directly from the Prius philosophy: conservative charge windows, aggressive thermal management, and a corporate culture that treats longevity as a feature worth advertising rather than a variable to optimize away. They are not chasing the longest range number on the window sticker. That restraint is exactly what you want. And if you are shopping used, the most financially rational vehicle on the road right now is not a used EV. It is a 2016 to 2019 Toyota Camry Hybrid or RAV4 Hybrid with a proven nickel metal hydride pack, no degradation uncertainty, and a replacement cost, if it ever comes to that, measured in hundreds of dollars, not tens of thousands. A used EV with an unknown charge history and a battery outside warranty is a 5-figure liability with a clean exterior. Buy the boring hybrid. Keep the money. Here is the rule. 2 sentences. Write them down. Check the thermal management. Check the warranty threshold. If the battery is air-cooled, walk away. If the warranty covers only below 70% remaining capacity, the manufacturer has already told you how much of your range they consider acceptable to take. EV manufacturers did not invent planned obsolescence. They found a more expensive version of it. A $15,000 battery pack engineered to a degradation curve, wrapped in a warranty document designed to expire just before the steepest drop. The rotary compressor lasted 30 years because no one had a business model that required it to fail. The same logic applies here. The incentive to build a battery that lasts 20 years does not exist when a battery that lasts 8 years sells you a new car. Next week, we are covering home solar systems. Specifically the inverter, the component installers never mention, that carries a 10-year warranty on a system you financed for 25. When that inverter fails, the installer who sold it to you may not exist anymore. That one is even more expensive than this.